Merrill Memo with Matthew Dickerson from Dubbo Regional Council.
.5 Triple M. It's always a pleasure to speak with the Mayor of Dubbo, Matthew Dickerson. He's on the line. How are you this morning, Mr. Mayor?
Oh, Matthew, thanks. You're making me feel all warm and fuzzy now. It's really nice to speak to you as well.
Oh, gosh. Oh, Lord, I've got to stop complimenting you. No, it is good to talk to you. And something I'm very interested in, a lot of people are interested in. Apparently there's a new proposal for a fairly substantial mixed medical centre happening in Dubbo.
Yeah, absolutely right. The block of land, as you go out Cabora Road and you just get to the railway line, there's the block of land that's known, many people just call it the Telecom block. It used to be the former Telecom depot there. Now that's showing my age. It was a long time ago. In fact, I remember playing cricket there behind that, and it was called the Telecom Oval, surprisingly enough, and it's showing how old it is because Telecom's not even called Telecom anymore. But there's a local developer and a group of developers there, one of them local, that own that block of land, and they've been looking for what would be a good use for that block of land, and they've just actually lodged a DA with council. You can go onto our DA tracker and have a look at it, but a fairly significant development. They've lodged stage 1 of the DA. The total development, if they go ahead with all of it, which I can't see any reason why they wouldn't, is $150 million development. So that's just the cost of the buildings they're planning on putting there. Stage 1 is a 4-storey building. They'll have things like GP, specialists, some retail, pharmacy, that type of thing in there as well, various consultation rooms, even do day procedures there. So that's stage 1. And again, there's no reason why I can't see that going ahead. The DA's lodged. Obviously, our staff have to check it. I'm sure they've put in a complying DA. Then there'll be various stages. 5 stages in total is what they're proposing for that total development. As I say, that $150 million development. But it just gives you an indication of the health services that are needed in Dubbo. We've got so many people from around the region that come to Dubbo for their health services. So there's a demand there, and obviously developers are responding to that demand and putting in development applications for large medical precincts.
Yeah, that's right. It's a good response to a high demand happening in Dubbo. Now, tell me, Easter events, a lot happened in Dubbo. What was the wrap-up from that?
It was actually quite fascinating just to see how many things were on. I played a bit of a tourist. I had a couple of the kids home from uni and played a bit of the tourist. We went out to Morris Park to watch some of the Speedway. Of course, the Man from Ironbark Festival, I always like to go down that and do a bit of poetry and welcome people along there. So that was on again. A little bit of drizzly rain around at Stewart Town for the Man from Ironbark, but it still didn't really keep people away. They managed to still come out in good numbers. Burrendong Easter Fishing Classic. Dubbo Golf Club had their Easter tournament on. There was a show and shine and Motorcana on. Drag racing at the Wellington Aerodrome. I didn't make it to the Australian Palouse Pony 40th National Show, but that was very well attended. Even markets are on, and they moved the markets from Macquarie Street, where they normally are on a Sunday, to Victoria Park just because of the high demand there. So that's just a brief snapshot. There seem to be lots of things on, and Easter in Dubbo is great weather, although, again, a little bit of drizzly rain around, but usually great weather there, so people are great or love getting out and around Dubbo around Easter time because it is that great time between spring, summer, and then moving into autumn, so usually good weather there, and lots of things are on, so another great Easter here in Dubbo.
Yes, and it's so good in Dubbo that people are doing their citizenship ceremonies here.
Mainly because of Triple M and Matho is what I've heard when I spoke to them. We had 33 new conferees during the week. And one of the things that's exciting about that is that we only had our last citizenship on Australia Day. So that's only the end of January. So this is only about 70 days later. And we had another 33. India was the number 1 country people came from, 9 people from India. Britain with 6, Bangladesh 5, we went through Nepal, New Zealand, Sri Lanka, Canada, Fiji. So there's a whole range of different countries that people come from. And I do love to talk to them about why they've come to Dubbo. I get excited that they've come from their own country and they've come to Australia. So as an Aussie, I go, wow, that's fantastic. But then you've got 7.6 million square kilometres. Out of all of that, they choose Dubbo. And I tell them the correct answer is because of the great mayor we've got in Dubbo. And some of them do give me that answer when I say, why'd you move to Dubbo? But the reason that they come, or the reasons they come, are so varied. But they just seem to be this common theme about the lifestyle, the friendliness of people, the ability for them to live a life much more enjoyable, much more open and free than maybe where they've come from. So people come for a whole range of reasons, but they want to be here in Dubbo, which I get very excited about, and there's a real buzz around the room. And I say to them sometimes, as mayor, you get to do things that are really exciting, lots of fun, and other things as mayor you get to do that are really tough and some really tough decisions you've got to make. But citizenships, they're one of the most exciting things to be involved in as mayor because you're actually putting the final stamp of approval on them coming to this country.
That sounds awesome. And speaking of official council things, you have a standing committee.
Yeah, we've got our standing committee meetings this Thursday, so tomorrow night. These are the meetings that we don't make formal council resolutions at these meetings, but we basically give a pretty clear indication as to what way we're going on a variety of different topics. So there's 3 different standing committee meetings. They're chaired by 3 different councillors. Jess Goff, Damien Mahon and Josh Black are the 3 different chairs of those 3 different standing committee meetings. You can come in on person and actually watch the meeting in person, which is always great to see some people in the gallery. Of course, you can tune in online and watch those meetings there from 5:30 p.m. on the second Thursday of each month. So this Thursday, lots of important things will be discussed at those meetings.
All right. Thank you very much, Mr. Mayor, for your presence today. It is always appreciated, and we'll catch up in a couple of weeks.
My pleasure, Matthew. Always good to talk.
Mayoral Memo with Matthew Dickerson from Dubbo Regional Council.